Welcome into the Sports Buffoons podcast. Yo, let's get going out there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the world. Welcome on and back again to the Sports Buffoon Studios here, out of Lenexa, Kansas. We got the full clan with us. Tanner's already cracking up. He is a silly goose, isn't he? Tanner, what are you so laughing about?
Nothing, guys. Nothing at all.
I don't know what his problem is.
I'm glad we finally went live.
Okay, we are a little later than normal, you guys. We
honestly,
had
for some on time. So.
Distractions and setbacks. We just thought it'd be like if you're on the West Coast waiting for the polling to come in. And maybe that was the reason why. But
we're still waiting on Alaska. Do we need to figure out
do they know who won yet?
I don't think they know who won, dude. They were taking their time.
Alaska, what about Hawaii? You think they know who won yet?
I mean, I still think there's a path, honestly.
There's
a path for Kamala to still win. I think they called it too early.
What are you talking about?
Well, we've been up a little late the last couple nights, Tanner. Well, first of all, we had an amazing Chiefs versus Buccaneers game on Monday night.
Are you guys making fun of Alaska and Hawaii because they're so far behind us?
Well, we're not making fun of them.
Oh, you just don't know. So what you guys? I'm so confused on what you're talking about.
It's basically, Tanner, I don't know if you knew this today, Tanner, but it's National Stress Awareness Day.
Yeah.
So the best thing I can do.
Great at that.
Best thing I can do to relieve my stress, I don't know about anybody else, is to talk about politics.
Now, is this an every
that
4-year holiday?
My stress. Yeah.
Is this every 4-year holiday, or is it at every year?
I think they do it every year. It's the first.
I bet it's every 4 years.
First Wednesday in November is what it says.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't know.
Just happens to be the day after the election.
You know, this reminds me of 2020. There's some shady stuff going on, and I think they need to do some recounts. And Alaska, hopefully, should be counted by now. But
yeah, I don't know. But recount Alaska, just make it string it out a bit. You know, we got time.
No, never mind. They called it. They called it.
Okay.
Still waiting on Nevada and Arizona, Mike.
Okay.
Just for the record.
That's fine. I don't know, man. I went to bed kind of early last night. It was like 11:30 p.m. Some of you guys, I was looking at the chat, stayed up till about 2 or 3.
It wasn't me.
Do you think the Republicans cheated? I heard some stories about some random ballots coming into Michigan.
I don't know that we have time to get into the cheating right now on this show.
I'm just asking the question, you know.
I don't know. But anyways, I did want to say we've been up a little bit late the last few nights. Let's go ahead and make it 3 in a row, 4 in a row, whatever we're at the moment. Because, Jason, you were at the Chiefs game against the Buccaneers, of course, and what a great game that was, as a matter of fact. I mean,
yes,
it was raining for a while. You got to see some crazy things go down before the game that I'll let you explain. But then, during the game itself, it was one of my favorite Chiefs games I've seen in quite a while, as a matter of fact. Just the way the offense was actually rolling. We got to see DeAndre goddamn Hopkins as a Chief, looking amazing. That is exactly why I wanted him to be a part of this team last year and then this year when the trade rumors came up. So fitting in very nicely, exactly the kind of guy we needed, exactly what I expected him to be in this offense. So, Jason, go ahead and tell us maybe it wasn't as great as hanging out with Taylor Swift like we did earlier this year.
Yeah.
But what was your experience like?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird for me because I didn't go to a Chiefs game for 10 years, pretty much because I either didn't have the money or I didn't want to spend the money, and now all of a sudden this was my 3rd game of the year, and so I'm probably going to try to go to another one and just, set my own personal record, but it was just different than all the other ones. I know the first 2 games I went to with you guys, it was extremely hot, like more than 90 degrees outside. This time it basically never rained during the first, second, and third quarters. Started to rain again in the fourth quarter, but during tailgating, it was raining all day long. So we parked in this little area, which was all basically full of mud, and the cars were getting stuck left and right. And unfortunately, we had a situation where this car parked sort of close to this muddy area, and a gentleman got out of his car. All they were doing was walking the game, and this guy, he was a big guy. I mean, he weighed a lot, and he basically slipped and fell in the mud. It was literally, I'm not kidding you guys, it was like 8 inches of mud. Jeez. 8 inches deep, and he slipped and fell, and he landed on his ankle and snapped it in half. And so we had A couple people called the ambulance, and we got this guy taken care of. But it was just kind of a weird, slash sad situation to be going through in terms of that. But the game itself was, it was phenomenal, man. I really enjoyed it. It was very competitive. I think, with Baker Mayfield, he did what I expected him to do. I think he's a very underrated player, but I think that he's showing a lot of people that he's a lot better than we thought he was earlier in his career. And
with the strength of the Browns, obviously, in his career.
What a crappy day to play. Well, you got to sit there and you're throwing the ball around the fourth quarter, particularly, and the ball's wet. And I was very impressed with what Baker did in this game, man. It just, if you give it everything you got and you come up short against, presumably the GOAT, the greatest of all time quarterback, you gotta tip your hat to him at that point. But I thought Baker played pretty well.
Let's point out this year he does lead the league in touchdown passes thrown, which is awesome for him. I think it's been great as well. I think I agree with you that I'm happy to see Baker fitting in nicely with an organization after having a really rough time with Cleveland. Just kind of like fitting in well, especially when they have a healthy Godwin and Mike Evans. Obviously, that's an amazing receiving combo to have on your team. But he played fantastic without those guys on the field. But I thought the play calling in particular was terrific for the Buccaneers. And you're facing a Chiefs defense at home that was struggling against some of the play calling that was going on. They had us on the ropes quite a few times. And at the end of the game, guys, obviously they got down there. They had a chance to potentially basically go for the win and get a two-point conversion, potentially get a win, or kick the extra point to send it to overtime. And I felt like at that point the defense was gassed. The defense was not going to be able to make a stop right there in that moment. And the Buccaneers gave us a shot, and that's why the Chiefs won.
And I think in most situations you would have gone for two, no matter who the coach is, no matter who the team is. Yeah. You always have to do that against the Chiefs, but I think it was a very unique situation in that you've got a guy in Todd Bowles who's a more conservative, defensive-minded coach, and, oh, by the way, it's raining. So I think between the rain and the fact that you got Todd Bowles as your coach, you're more likely to play conservative. I'm not going to say they made the correct decision. We're never going to know one way or the other. But I understand why he made that decision just to kick the extra point.
The nerds got in the ear of Todd Bowles for that game, for that decision right there.
Probably.
The nerds did. Analytics. Raining. You've been up and down the field on them all day.
But analytics don't take into account game flow.
Exactly.
They do not take into account game flow. They don't take into account the fact that the Chiefs defense
Not
was
for
getting their
football.
butt whooped.
Football, they do not take into
Some
account.
of the natural aspects of the game where the Chiefs defense was not ready for anything. I mean, that the tight end was going to be – trust me, if you threw a pass to Kate Otten right there,
he was open.
You're going to win the game.
And Kate Otten, to be fair, was just killing us the whole night.
Yeah, he's had a great
and
season.
Bucky Irving looked really good.
And you've got a guy
sick.
and
Rashad White.
you got a guy in Baker Mayfield who's having an amazing year. You have to take those things into account more than the analytics, I think.
100%. I totally agree with that.
That was a full decision analytics right there for Todd Bowles, and the nerds lost it for him.
Yeah, they played us closer than I think a lot of people expected.
Oh, yeah.
Especially missing
Big time.
those receivers we talked about. So yeah, anyways, I'm glad you had a good time out there at Arrowhead. I might make it out to a game this year, another game. I'm just not sure which one yet. Chiefs play at noon against the Broncos coming up this Sunday, which is a rare noon game.
How weird is it that we have KU, Iowa State at Arrowhead on Saturday, and then you turn around and have Chiefs and Broncos at noon?
That is rare, especially for the field crew to
that's
make sure everything
2:30 game, I think it is. So 2:30 game.
That's a lot of work for those guys to take care of.
Yeah, for a noon game
in that short amount of time. Let's hope the field is good for Sunday in that situation. So,
right,
goddamn KU getting involved in my stadium, which is nonsense.
Hey, Chiefs made the deal, so
terrible.
They said yes.
Terrible. Well, guys, just real quick about the game itself. I mean, Broncos coming up. Last time we played them, they got the better hand of us. They ended up finally getting the victory after the Chiefs had won. What was it, 15 in a row or something like that? Now with Bo Nix, who's played pretty well this year.
He's actually played way better than I thought he would.
Great scrambling quarterback. He's getting a lot of yardage with his feet, making plays, keeping plays alive with his feet.
They're coming off a Baltimore.
He's definitely
blowout.
gotten better as the year's gone on. Denver defensively looking better than they did a year ago, of course. But, just in general, is this a game that could concern you guys going a game before Buffalo, a week from then?
Yes, it concerns me.
Okay.
I personally have a chance of us losing this game.
Okay.
I'm looking at one of the most random games. And why not an in division against an opponent that has a great defense as well?
You do know Denver's going to play hard too.
Yes, they are.
They're not going to take this game lightly.
No,
And Bo Nix, as a rookie quarterback, wants to go out there and prove himself right away to the best quarterback in the league,
the best team,
and against the best team in the league. For him that would be huge to get a win against the Chiefs. So
I am concerned about.
I think it's going to come down to defensive play. Can the Chiefs force turnovers against the Broncos offense? If they can do that, the Chiefs run away with this. If they don't force turnovers and they allow third down conversions, Chiefs are in big trouble, as a matter of fact. That's the way I see this game. But I think we saw an amazing third down conversion rate for the Chiefs offense this past week. Having DeAndre Hopkins as a part of the team is a big part of that. Mahomes played his best game of the season this past week. No turnovers, finally.
Hallelujah.
3 touchdowns. But I just thought things looked great offensively the other day. But they're going to come out with a different game plan against the Broncos than they did against the Buccaneers. So I'll be curious. I think what is the over/under in this game right now?
I'll tell you here. I'm logged in.
I just looked at it a minute ago. Gosh darn it.
Over/under is this noon game.
I got 42.
I got 41.5.
41.5. So I got 42 on DraftKings right now.
41.5 on Fanatics.
I would honestly probably lean more towards the under. And also the Chiefs are favored right now by 7.5. I actually think I would take Denver.
Oh, I'm taking
on the
Denver
other side
spread,
of that.
big time.
First of all, you guys already know how the Chiefs are with the spread.
We don't cover.
We don't cover games anyway. So I think I would take Denver to cover 7.5. Because I think the Chiefs, if they do win by like 6, something like that. So just out of my own experiences.
I'll get you your weekly injury report real quick here. Chiefs here did not practice today. 2 guys, Juju Smith and Tershawn Wharton, who got hurt during that game, which just sucks to see there. Mecole, Kareem, Karlaftis, Mecole, Hunt, and Karlaftis were all limited. And Dana was a full practice. Nazi, full practice.
You're telling me Mike Dana is a full practice finally?
We got full practice in.
Gosh, dang it, yes.
We might get somebody back.
That guy is by far one of my favorite Chiefs because he's just one of those guys that kind of does everything right. He's not spectacular at anything, but he plays his role perfectly on this team, the DN position. As far as outside contain, stopping the run, he can get pressure at times whenever the coverage allows enough time to get there. He's not a guy that really would fit on a lot of other defenses, but he fits in Spag's defense because he plays it so well. And this is, I think, his 5th year on the team, or 4th or 5th.
Fourth, I think it is.
He's really matured in his role with the roster, which is what I like most about Mike Dana. So whenever he's out, sometimes it's frustrating because guys replace him cannot do what he
Morton
does.
Goes out, Dana comes back, I guess.
I'm hoping he's good to go. Juju,
I think we're a couple more weeks from that.
Yes, but I think he's going to be ready for the Bills.
Yes.
I think he's ready. I think they're loading up for the Bills game and getting ready for that is what
that's
kind of
next week, right?
Thinking. Yeah, next week at 3:25.
Man, I think Omenahue's a week after that.
I think so too.
That's
and Pacheco as well. Not going to be till December.
Till end of November.
We're not going to get ahead of ourselves, but the Chiefs are 8-0 right now. We don't need to go undefeated. This is not a team that needs to go undefeated.
No.
We're not trying to prove anything when it comes to, we got to make a statement and win every game. The Chiefs are going to lose a game.
There's nobody that did not practice for the Broncos, by the way. So Mike McGlinchey is the offensive tackle. He limited. That's your biggest name. So
to me, it's like I'm looking at this schedule coming forward, and a lot of people are right now talking about that at 8-0, which they shouldn't be. Guys, it's a 17-game season. We're not even to the halfway point.
No.
Halftime of this game coming up is the halfway point.
Yes.
Chiefs are going to lose a couple more games coming up this season. Okay? Let's just hope that they're in the regular season, not after that.
Right.
But still, it's like the Bills game, the Broncos game coming up. The thing is, I wouldn't want to lose to the Broncos 2 times in a row.
No.
After the streak we had against them, and we play them again in Week 18, I believe, at the end of the season when we're probably going to be benching Patrick Mahomes and the rest of the starters. we can't let them go out there and beat us 3 times in a row after we took care of them 15 in a row. That's my only worry.
Yep.
But Jason, do you have any thoughts on this game coming up?
I'm not worried about it at all, particularly because I like the chemistry that I see between Mahomes and DeAndre Hopkins. But also, I'm looking at the fact that you guys alluded to that Buffalo Bills game upcoming. If you're sitting there at 8-0 and you're going to play a home game against the Denver Broncos, I know a lot of people are probably concerned about Patrick Mahomes' ankle and the fact that he had an ankle issue before he walked into that game. And I'm not going to lie, when I was sitting there watching him sort of hobbling off the field, I thought the way they made it look, I thought he was going to get carted off when he originally had that injury in this last game. But he's going to leave it against Denver. He's going to leave it all on the field, and he's not going to be, favoring that ankle. I do not believe you're going to see that in this game, because the worst case scenario for me is, maybe you aggravate it and then you aggravate it again in the Buffalo Bills game. I don't care if we lose the Buffalo Bills. Like we can lose to the Buffalo Bills in the regular season like it's happened before, and guess what? Nobody cares, because the Bills don't do shit in the playoffs. And so I would much rather take care of business against this Denver team at home. And then if Mahomes, whether he comes out healthy or not, God forbid he bangs up his ankle again, at least we got another win under our belt and we're still taking care of business. But no, I'm not worried about this game at all. If it was in Denver, I might think a little bit differently, but I do respect.
Mahomes has never lost there.
I do respect the Broncos, and particularly you guys were talking about Bo Nix. I mean, yeah, he's been playing very well, but not worried about this game whatsoever.
Okay. All right, man. Well, let's do game predictions then, and then we can move along to our next subject. So, Tanner, do you want to go first?
Sure. 41.5 are over under. 8.5 is your spread. Quite frankly, to me, this feels like one of the biggest trap games out there as you enter 8-0 now, trying to go 9-0 before the Bills game. So give me the Broncos 21-20.
Betting against the Chiefs, Tanner, never a good idea.
I'm hoping I'm completely wrong.
I'm just letting you know.
It's just that it's just a weird feeling.
Never a good idea to bet against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Statistically,
yeah,
proven over time, tested and tried. Just letting you know.
Sure.
So
I mean, if I'm placing a bet, I'm placing plus 8.5 on the Broncos. But
yeah, so
my prediction
that's different.
Broncos 21.
If you want to bet on the spread, 100%.
Yeah,
I would say
failed me the last 3 weeks.
Take the Broncos on the spread. Take that plus 8.5. You said, because I saw 7.5. So if you can get 8.5, take 8.5. Cool. Take 8.5 on FanDuel for Broncos. But no, I'm gonna have the Chiefs winning this game though. I do think there's gonna be a couple field goals from Harrison Butker. Give me the Chiefs 20-17 in this one. So Chiefs win by 3. And the under hits. I like the under.
Yes.
In this game particularly.
So yeah, Denver only put up 10 points last week, but they've been scoring a fair amount of points all season long. So I think you're going to see at least 20 points from Denver. So I'm going to go 27-20 Chiefs in this game.
Okay. Jason's got the over.
It's going to be nice weather, presumably, as of right
Looks
now.
like
that's always going to change. But
it does look like good weather.
If you get nice weather, it's going to be 27-20.
It does look like good weather. All right, guys. Well, let's move along. We had, Jason, I thought you had something we wanted to talk about today. Something you brought up before the show, as a matter of fact.
Well, we already did the political segment, so I'll just throw in another thing for you.
We could get more into that if you'd like to, but if you have something better, we could do that.
Yeah. So we'll start out with this. So I realized that after Election Day, which we just had yesterday, we had National Stress Awareness Day today, but we also had National Nachos Day.
That's right.
So I had a rare opportunity because in my family we don't generally eat fast food. That's just not what we do. So when I do get an opportunity to do that, I like to go to town and do it correctly. So we went to Taco Villa the other day on 95th and Antioch, which is one of my favorite.
You love Taco Villa,
I love that place. It's amazing.
Well, you do crazy things over there, man. You pulled a gun out one time. Oh shit! I shouldn't say that out live. My bad.
That's all right.
My bad. We could
Just,
edit that out, right, Tanner?
Yeah, we do probably.
We'll edit that one out. We won't do that.
Yeah, we didn't do the was that an insurrection or what was that all about, Mike? I don't know.
The gun?
No, never mind.
Oh.
Well, that's political talk. No, I don't want to get on that. So, but I made a mistake when I went to Taco Villa because when you only eat your favorite fast food like once or twice a year, like you forget how to order it, dude. So I walked in there, I got my enchiladas, and I didn't realize that if I didn't specify I want cheese enchiladas, which you boys know me better than anyone else, I've got to have my cheese in my enchiladas.
It's true.
Well, I just said I want enchilada platter, and he gave me beef.
Oh no.
And that caused problems.
Yeah.
Probably 18 hours later, that's a different story. But the thing that I forgot to order, most importantly, was
70-30 beef.
they had the giant nacho that they serve in there with like taco sauce and cheese, and they put green chilies on top of it. And my brother and my nephew ordered it, and I was like, dude, how did I forget to order those nachos? And so it's like one big nacho. It looks more like a tostada that you would get from Taco Bell.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just want to know what you guys' favorite nachos is, because we've all had some amazing nachos in the course of our life. So I want to know what your favorite is, since it's not National Nacho Day.
Yeah, I enjoy the mountain nachos you get where there's all kinds of crap on there. But I will say, I eat at Mexican restaurants once a week. Yes, once a week I eat, normally on Fridays. I am a Mexican restaurant connoisseur in some ways, where I definitely have my judgments about each one. And, you know, my early days when I was younger, I was all about getting the beef nachos with espinaca over the top. So it would be beef, but the espinaca cheese sauce would be over the top of the nachos. Fantastic. And it would actually make the nachos a little soggy the longer it's sat on top of there. And it would just be delicious, you know, with having
I'm not a
little
big fan
nachos.
of soggy nachos.
Well, at Mexican restaurants, it's
Not a
a
big
little
fan of that.
different.
I like soggy.
It gets a
I gotta
little.
have soggy.
Well, you get a fork at some point. You got to start stabbing that thing. But, anyways, I think I'll go back to when I was my early 20s. I'm probably gonna say this because I was drinking a lot of beer. But Old Chicago Italian nachos used to be one of my favorite styles of nachos to eat, because it would come with banana peppers, which I'm a huge fan of banana peppers.
Those are amazing.
And it would be banana peppers, pepperoni, Italian sausage, and the red sauce that would go normally on like a pizza, like a marinara.
Yeah, marinara.
Would be your sauce on the nachos. And I used to eat that
Old
all the
Chicago
time.
had some really good ones, yeah.
They had good nachos.
Yeah.
But, yeah, in general, man, I like nachos a lot. I think I get bored these days with just your normal chips and cheese.
Yes.
Like, that's so boring anymore. Like, I'm honestly over that.
So he's not soggy. Are you soggy?
I prefer, because some of those espinacas, you can get half a chip, half soggy, half hard at the same time.
Okay.
And I felt that way in my life a few times. But, you know, I feel
Half
like
a chub.
you can,
Half a
half chub for Nick Chubb. You know, I felt that way before. So I like a little bit of both. But
So
I could take soggy.
So it's interesting you bring that up. I was just explaining to somebody at work today why Jack in the Box has the best tacos of all time, and it's because the grease and the grease from the cheese and the meat melts through about 2/3 of it, but you still get the complete outside, which is totally crispy.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that's you
the
get
best,
two of them.
that's why
thing.
the best
And
taco.
you get two of them for $1.50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just had those
So
the other day as well.
Same idea, yeah.
And it's freaking phenomenal. But I will throw one other thing out at you guys. If you've never been to Taco Naco on 83rd and Metcalf in Overland Park,
I've been there.
Taco Naco's
not.
got some amazing nachos, and they just all around great Mexican food as well.
I don't think I've been there.
I haven't either.
All right, Tanner.
Yeah.
Tell us your nacho
Look,
story.
Locally, I love Old Chicago's nachos. I actually miss those, doing those all the time. You know, I actually have a different style of nachos. Like Chili's has a really good nachos. So basically, it's on the chip itself. It's all baked and nacho-fied pretty much by itself singly. So it's not a big mess pile. That's really good. They have there, but guys, mine's not local. I had the best nachos this past summer, and it was not from Kansas. It was not from Missouri. when I was up in Ferndale, Washington, next to the big old plant that's being torn down now, but next to the big old plant there's a Mexican restaurant I was walking through, and I was trying to just find some lunch after the flight and driving up there, called Chihuahuas. Oh my, I asked for the nachos, got the half order size because it was just me. And this thing came in like literally cheddar cheese melted, like not runny, cheddar cheese melted on the freaking plate. Like this thing was perfectly done. Best juicy meat. I had pork on it, juicy pork with it. Oh my, that was the best nachos I've ever had, and that's the way it should be done at all restaurants. This wasn't runny, all cheddar cheese sauce like Jose Peppers does. This is legit, real cheese melted perfectly as cheddar onto the plate with jalapenos, all the good stuff, loaded up, sour cream, guac on there, salsa, perfectly done. You cannot beat it. Chihuahua in Ferndale, Washington, if you guys ever go.
Also, what do you guys think of barbecue nachos out here? Being obviously from Kansas City,
It
we've
depends.
eaten a lot of barbecue here.
Depends.
I
So-
like them most of the time.
The Melt food truck, one of my favorite food trucks out here. They have a nachos that you can put pulled pork in, their barbecue pork in, and that's phenomenal with their corn dip, cheesy corn dip, and
Makes sense.
that kills it. Now I've had some bad barbecue nachos at some other places, but I'd say from that standpoint, probably the Melt being the top there. So
Okay.
I've never had barbecue nachos in my whole life.
Really?
Yeah.
I've had some good barbecue nachos, man. Normally, it's got either brisket or pork.
Yep.
Seems to be the way to go. But with some barbecue sauce, I love barbecue sauce, man.
see, they
Jeez.
usually you put like a little bit of cheddar cheese, and you have
Yeah.
barbecue sauce on top of the cheddar cheese.
Anything with cheese, I'm down.
I know you
I'd
are.
probably try that shit.
So one more question then for you guys when it comes to nachos, and I've had this more recently than when I was younger. So the nacho platter, where I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, where they actually have individual nachos that have been
That's what Chili's is, I think. Are we talking about?
I don't know. I haven't been to Chili's in fucking 15 years, but they literally each nacho is individually prepared with the right ingredients on it. So they already got the jalapeno or the beef or the cheese on each nacho individually.
Like this?
It serves in a sour cream container. Yeah, show Jason that if he's ever experienced.
That's what Chili's does.
So it looks kind of like this one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, if it has jalapeno, I'd be all in on
the way
that.
the way that it's stacked perfectly. Look up Chili's restaurant nachos, and you'll see what we're talking about.
So I'll just say a lot of places do that because you said Chili's and that's
Chili's the
funny
only
'cause
place I've seen it.
that's a lot of places.
Where do you find that? Oh, I guess Jose Peppers does it too.
Yeah, they
Jose's
do.
has
Yeah, Jose does do it that way.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think of that style of nacho? It's less messy, and you're not having to have certain chips that are blank.
Yeah, no, I love that. I actually like that probably better.
If you're
than-
wanting nachos with a
big
smaller
chunk.
portion, like a lot of times you get a plate of nachos and you're just feeling like shit afterwards if you eat all of them like a
Yeah.
big fat ass. But if you just want like a normal portion of nachos and you eat that, you feel better afterwards, and each bite was amazing.
I would definitely try it.
No,
I would
it's
definitely
It's pretty
try it
good.
like
It's
that.
pretty good.
that's usually kind of what I get at Chili's normally, because by the time I go to Chili's, usually it's either the bacon ranch
I
quesadilla
haven't been there
or
so
that.
long.
So
Did you guys hear Applebee's is closing down around town?
they already have.
There's one in Leavenworth still.
There's one in
Are you
Blue
serious?
Springs.
Yeah. But
I think
7
that's the only two
Applebee's
left.
in Kansas City have closed down.
So they're just leaving the KC metro area.
No,
basically.
they're like
closing.
closing like
Bankruptcy.
as a company.
the entire thing.
TGI
Wow.
Fridays bankrupt too.
Well, when you go more corporate, you start taking stuff off the walls. They were known for having cool things all over the walls, like Tanner's mom's basement. And this is like Applebee's back in the day. If we wanted to be more corporate, we'd paint the walls gray and take down all the scenery, right? That's what Applebee's did. Now it's not cool anymore,
Yeah.
And plus, they started doing the $1 margaritas that tasted like
Which was sugar.
plastic and sugar, and it was like, nah, this ain't worth it.
This was
Even for $1.
this much mixer, that much,
Yeah,
maybe tequila.
like
maybe.
I'd rather not have an upset stomach. Let's not do that.
like
Think of it is like Applebee's and Chili's are kind of the same thing. It's like if one goes
Right.
bankrupt, then the other one's probably going to follow suit here pretty shortly. It's the same exact food.
No, it is, but one has just had maybe a more sustainable marketing plan for now.
Yeah.
But I agree. I know what you're saying. So, anyways, you guys, all right, let's jump right along. Did you guys have something else coming up in sports, or is it just football season altogether?
I mean,
is that what we're doing?
not
Football
allowed.
season.
We're not allowed.
Did you not know? Did I not tell you
about,
Is it football season?
that
we're not
NCAA
allowed to
basketball
talk-
has started?
Oh no, did it? No.
Oh, it started
Oh,
Monday,
brother.
baby.
No, that's
And guess-
bad.
No, but we're allowed to talk about that, just not the NBA.
Yeah, well,
can't talk
I
about the
don't think
NBA.
Mike
And
likes
I don't know
that.
what you'd be excited about starting because last year KU was terrible to begin with.
Oh,
And so-
our recruiting class is so much.
I'm just
better.
saying it's going to be rough. I don't know if there's much to be excited about.
There's tons to be excited about.
Okay, here he is. Here he
So
is.
that means we have to talk. We have to bring Troy on the show next week,
No,
and we can
it's
do.
too early.
No,
Nothing
because
against Troy. I love you, man, but we'll save you from KU actually matters.
but it's not too early because you have to do a KU/crypto show
Okay, if
because
he wants to come on and talk
he's getting
crypto.
into crypto.
Look, we got
Well-
some big matchups coming up. So, like,
What
it wouldn't hurt.
did you guys think of that? You know,
What?
well, the fact that Bitcoin is at its all-time high.
I'm not talking.
What did you think about that?
We'll talk about it. We'll go at. Let's let him do his spiel, and then we'll
No,
talk
I don't,
about the
I
real stuff.
I don't have
after
a
that.
spiel. I'm just saying college basketball has started. I'm writing daily bets on my Substack at tan12489, and
Ooh,
and it's I'm having a blast with it right now.
so I go in there and bet against, and I'll be a millionaire.
Yeah, go
if
for
I
it.
bet against everything that you
I
say.
don't know what I picked. I don't know where I'm at today yet. I know that Villanova got upset by Columbia today, which is bad for Villanova fans, but we haven't seen really too much upsets just yet. But now this weekend we got a really great slate of games coming on top of NCAA football, of course. So on this, and by the way, speaking of NCAA, the college playoffs first drop has happened for that. There, Alabama's still in. SMU's on looking out right now. I can get that pulled for you, Mike.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes down.
See
college
if
is
you agree.
college is weird this year. It's hard to figure out who's doing what, and I don't even like Georgia that much.
No, I'm not a big fan there. So right now, seriously, you have, let's see here, where am I at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This isn't the right one, dude. This is stupid.
Well,
Why would ESPN have their own? It's not even the official one.
all right, Tanner, that's okay. We don't
No,
need to talk
it's
about
not
that. right
okay.
now. Yeah, it's okay. We can move
Just
on.
give him a break, and we can go into crypto real
Yeah.
quick.
I'm
I was
just
gonna say-
stating the fact that Alabama, BYU's in there, Iowa State right now, Miami's 4, Oregon, of course, is the best team, but Indiana finally got some respect in the playoffs too. So there's still a lot of big games to happen. Indiana, Ohio State still has to happen. They have Michigan this week. We got a couple weeks away before we really see that thing to line up. So we could have some sneaky teams rolling.
Where's KU ranked right now?
In
Basketball,
1.
number 1. That's
Yes,
all
sir.
I care about.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you could have saved yourself a lot of time because that's all we care about is who's number 1 right now.
Well, number 1's Oregon in football, if you need to know.
No, I don't care about that.
I know you don't.
All right. Well,
You guys want to talk about some coins or what are we doing here?
we can talk about coins if you want. Did you? So I know. So the other day when I was not here, I saw you bought crypto live on air.
Yeah.
How's that one doing at this point? Is it still doing okay? Is it hanging in there?
I was hammered, so I don't remember
Which
exactly
one?
which one was it.
I don't
but
either. I was hammered. No, actually, I was laying in bed.
I
You're
did.
sick, dude.
I was sick as hell watching on TV.
I did just a few days later with my 7-year-old daughter. I let her pick out a coin for me, and she chose Axie Infinity, which I already had a lot of those coins, but we put an extra $100 into that. And so today, I think you and I had a discussion about one that you were working on, which is called Filecoin. And so I've invested in that, and now we're looking at just topping off some of these other coins. That
You know what would be
we think
actually
are gonna
really
pop.
cool for your daughter to experience is the fact that she wanted to pick Axie Infinity,
Mm-hmm.
and that's an actual game. It's a game you can actually play on your phone, on the computer. It's a real physical game. If you could get her into Axie Infinity itself, because a lot of people did. In fact, millions did during the last bull run cycle in 2021. I think that would even make her more excited about the idea that she picked that game out as her crypto, of all things.
Have you played the game?
I've watched it on YouTube. I've not played it myself, but I've watched it on YouTube. I know lots of people play it, or did. Millions of people played it back in 2021. It hit over the million mark. Right now, it's down, and then there's 100,000 people maybe playing it still.
Okay.
It doesn't mean it can't revive and come back and be strong again. But I think if she played it, she would feel pretty happy about the fact that she picked that coin and she's playing the game. It's kind of this cartoonish, medieval type of a game.
Okay.
Where they have like shields and swords. And so
that sounds pretty awesome.
You can actually gain Axie Infinity points by playing the game. And like it accrues you credits that you can use in the game itself.
And it's real money.
And it's it's real money.
Okay.
So she might like that. It's something for her. And she's old again? How old's your daughter?
She's 7.
I think something like that would be pretty cool for her.
So, Mike, how many weeks do we have left? I was talking to Troy about this just a couple days ago because he's interested in crypto. How many weeks do you think we have left to get into some of these altcoins? Because I know a lot of people, like my brother included, we think that it's probably too late to get into Bitcoin. You're not going to produce a lot of gains there, and that's true. But what about the altcoins? Do we see these things start to pop? I know we just had an election. So the election that we just had yesterday is important towards what we're talking about right now. But is there time left to get in some of these alts? Are we going to see it pop in January or mid-December? Or do you have a sort of a range of dates in mind where these things are going to pop?
Well, I would say this. It's never too late to get into Bitcoin if you're thinking long-term. Mm-hmm. I think now is as great a time as any.
We got Perfecto in the comments over here. Perfecto.
Perfecto? Who is that?
I don't know. I don't know who Perfecto is.
Well, what are they? I can't. Okay, well, what are they? Are they talking crypto with us?
Perfecto, yeah. Perfecto says time's running out. Altcoins, 99% will fail. It takes about 1 year each bull run.
Takes about 1 year each bull run. 1 year what?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think what he's trying to say is that they're gonna fail if you hold on to it too long. Which probably nobody's gonna hold on to this stuff. Unless you're a beginner. If you're a novice, you're going to hold on to it for too long. But if you're just going to hold it for 2 to 3 months, it's not that big of a deal.
In the cycle, okay.
And there's a lot of cryptos that do fail over time, and maybe they have a good cycle last time, but then this time don't perform the same way because they're being constantly flooded in with new ones all the time. And basically the overall market cap of crypto right now is about $2.7 trillion. I think this entire crypto sphere is going to get to $10 trillion market cap as a total. That includes Bitcoin and everything else underneath it. And there's a lot of cryptos that will do nothing. Mm-hmm. But I would just say for Bitcoin itself, like I said earlier, it's never like too late necessarily to get into Bitcoin. You're just not going to maybe get the returns on your investment as much. But to answer your question, when it comes to alt season, we're still a ways out.
Okay.
This is going to go up with Bitcoin for a while, but Bitcoin dominance right now is at 61%, which means it's going to continue to be a Bitcoin ran bull run until we come to a point where some of the whales in Bitcoin, which is way down the road still, we're at 76,000 right now for Bitcoin. Once they start to sell off, that money gets flooded into the altcoins, and that's when those things start to pop off and put up big numbers for you. That is probably not going to happen, in my opinion, until closer to January, February.
Okay.
And potentially going further into late spring at the absolute latest, in my opinion.
I think for me personally, I know with a lot of other investments that are non-crypto related, a lot of people like to take profits at the end of the year, and then they reset basically January 1st. And I think for me, we're going to have an inauguration of a new president on January the 20th. And if I was just going to throw out a random date, I'm going to be fully invested on January 1st. But I think those of you who are interested in getting into crypto, you better get in before the next president gets into office on January 20th, because that's when, for me, if I had to just throw a random date out there, is January 20th, because we are going to have a pro-crypto president, and this could be a little bit bigger pump, a little bit more than the likes than we've seen before.
I think people have about 3 weeks to get in. It's either get in for this ride or, be willing to sit and let your ride roll into the next cycle.
So where can we get
2028.
educated? Can we get educated on Coinbase, or do you have any recommendations on that?
Coinbase is only going to educate you so far. They try to. They have little training programs for people to get new coins or whatever.
Free coins.
Honestly, education-wise, that's a good question because crypto is one of those things. Not everyone's transparent. Not everyone's going to tell you exactly what you need to know to help you succeed. Because guess what? At the end of the day, crypto is about us against our fellow person.
It's a Ponzi scheme, is what
Sure.
you're saying.
I mean, you could say that. Yeah, that's totally fine to say. And I think at the end of the day, you got to be willing to put your investment in, and if it doesn't work out during that time period, understand it's not going to be ready to work out until the following. You're going to learn your lesson and lick your wounds for the next 4 years. And when it's your turn to try to do this again, now you learned a lot of things, right? Now you can figure out what the hell you're going to do the next go around.
It happens really, really fast.
So yeah,
happens fast, and I think that once you see it start to pump, then you got to be looking to sell before everyone else sells, and it's like a 2 to 3 month period, and it's very short lived.
Yeah, you don't want to be.
He said you're
too
going to
late.
lose, but you're going to learn. So
That's literally what I just said, Tanner.
yeah, I know he's saying exactly everything you said.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
well, yeah.
I can't read what anyone's saying.
No,
there.
it's like nine out of 10 people, or 95 out of 100 people will have everything go to not zero, but you're not going to make any
They'll go back
money.
down.
But then the other 5 out of 100 people are going to 10, 20, 30, 40, 100x or more their money, and so it's a Ponzi scheme, but it's also one that is you got to take seriously because you can make a ton of money on this stuff.
Yeah,
and
Perfecto's saying
learn.
everything you guys are.
You learn over time. Everyone's first go around with crypto, they probably don't make money. Most likely they don't make money. If they do, they got pretty lucky and got out at the right time at certain things. I personally got out of Ethereum Classic last time when it was like literally at its very top, which was just random luck when I did that. And I just felt like it was about to be done with. And it was because it was really illogical what it was doing during that. And I will never buy into Ethereum Classic ever again. As a matter of fact, that is a total shitcoin of a shitcoin. But I've learned a lot over the past 3 years of going through things. Everyone bought into Dogecoin, of course, and your guys' average buy into Dogecoin is like 40 cents.
Yeah,
Guess
it's
what?
ridiculous.
That's a lot of the population, you guys. Your guys' average buy-in that you bought in Dogecoin is like a lot of people. A lot of people lost money on Dogecoin.
But specifically with Doge, the only people that got killed were the people that sold, because now all of a sudden Elon is more relevant than he's ever been. And the dude just promotes Dogecoin like nobody else. And so it's like, if you sold your Doge, yeah, you lost your ass. But if you didn't sell, you might want to hold on to that a little bit longer, because Elon is extremely relevant right
The
now.
proper thing to be doing to people out there that lose their money during their first bull run is to have money on the sidelines to continue to buy back in as the bear market rolls around, to then continue to build on what they already put in, but also get their average buy-in cost down a little bit lower, to where then they can actually make a profit when this time period that we're about to see comes rolling back around again. Then you're not going, oh, I bought Bitcoin at 50 cents. I'm only going to make 2x my money on it, right? No, if you start to buy it back when it goes down to, let's say, 7 cents or whatever it was during the bear market, well, now your average buying cost comes down to maybe 10, 15 cents. You can make a big profit, maybe make a 6 or 7x on that, right?
Yep.
And so that's what people need to understand, is that it's a rolling cycle at this point. It's not always going to be this way, you guys. This is not a forever thing. This is not going to be a thing that goes on forever and ever, and all of humanity is just so fucking stupid that they're like, every 4 years, no, that's not going to happen. This will come to an end at some point. We need to take advantage of it now while we can, before at some point something changes within the crypto sphere. And you can't do this anymore. The 4-year cycle will not always be a thing.
Basically, this is like if you could imagine Microsoft, Apple, or Amazon when it was first getting started or at its bottom. You have the opportunity to right now to get involved in this stuff. But the difference is like, it's basically the same thing. When Apple and Amazon weren't worth anything, guess what? Nobody knew anything and nobody cared. And that's the exact same attitude that people have about crypto right now. And so that's when you want to get in, is because it's extremely cheap. Right now, all these coins are cheap and nobody knows anything about them. And if you can get in right now, you have to think of it in terms of, okay, if I could get into Apple, Microsoft, Amazon back in the day, I would have made a ton of money back then. Okay. So that's how you have to think about it.
Let me ask you one question before we move on. So if you could put, let's say, $10,000 into one investment that you have to hold long term, let's say for 20 years, do you put it into gold or Bitcoin?
Ooh, 20 years. Yeah. That's an interesting time frame. Based on the election we just had yesterday, 100% Bitcoin. I would not give, and you guys know that like I'm like typically normally a gold investor.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested in gold. I have been for the last 20 years. That's an easy answer. I would put 100% of my money into Bitcoin for the next 20 years. Because like we're entering an age where this is the number one financial asset. It's not just the United States, but all countries are trying to acquire this one asset, which guess what, guys? You can't mine it. If I run out of gold or if I run out of silver, I can just go mine some more. You can't do that with Bitcoin. And so if you have all these countries and investors trying to acquire it all at the same time, guess what? It's going to run out. And so 20 years from now, you're not going to be able to get it. And so that's why I'd recommend getting into it right now.
Yeah, I think the total supply of Bitcoin is officially done mining in the year 2140 or something like that. But even by then, the last few years are going to be irrelevant because we're now down to mining. I can't remember the exact number now, but we just had the halving, a few months ago. And it's just getting to where, like, we've got 18 million Bitcoin mined out of 21 million. So the vast majority of Bitcoin's already been mined. And even then, a lot of it gets lost, through the crypto space for people being careless, and there's other ways as well. And so just something to think about. But, I would say with the way the world is going in the future and everything, makes Bitcoin make more sense to me to put $10,000 in.
Perfecto says as well, like, it's put it all on Bitcoin, the world asset. It's Jesus. It's infinite in wallets as well. So, good Lord, what do you say?
Tanner, you need bigger letters on the screen. We
I
can't
don't want to blow it up because of my other screens.
I can't read it.
Oh, Doctor Who said, "Good Lord, WTF?" Bye.
No, that means it's time to get back to sports, right?
That would be that'd be your indicator.
That's your cue.
Let's do our easy money bet of the week. How about that, you guys?
Easy money bet of the week.
Easy money bet of the week. Guys, it has been quite a journey this season, I would say. Wild compared to last year, as a matter of fact, because last year, guys, Tanner was absolutely god-awful at betting on college football. We gave him shit every goddamn week. This year, he's doing a much better job, winning the majority of his bets at this point. Jason, we got to get you to win some games, okay? I don't know what else to say other than I hope to fuck that you win your bet this week. We need it as a group.
I like that. I like that first F-bomb of the day.
Because
I appreciate that.
As a group, our goal is 60% win rate for the people, right?
So what are we at right now?
Tanner, what are we at right now as a group?
Double checking my math. Real quick, because I didn't have Mike's Vikings pick.
If we're above, if we're right at 50, that means I did my job.
We're above 50 right now.
That means I did my job.
Well, some of us are carrying the weight a little bit.
We actually might have a better percentage than I had. This might be good. I double checked it.
Yeah, 57.
When I had it last, we were at 55. But
okay.
I had one extra win in there, or one extra loss.
Oh, all right.
So 25.
I don't know. You got the numbers, Tanner.
Oh!
You got the numbers, so whatever.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the Buffoons are now 20.
Do some math here. Do some math and buy some crypto.
What's 25 plus 19, guys?
25 plus 19, was that 40?
Wow.
44.
44.
44 for door.
56.82%, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that's amazing.
The Buffoons are
Okay.
25, 19, and 1.
I'm
as a
doing
group.
good, man. I'm doing so good
JG
right now. I need to
is
try harder.
1, 8, and 1.
All
I'm
right.
doing so good.
So
I
you
need
got-
to try harder, man.
we
you
are
want me to go
in-
first?
You know,
want me to go
you know
first?
what week it is in the NFL season? coming up?
Oh, is it?
I think we're at week 10.
Week 10.
Is it
is
week
week
16? I
week
think
10.
we're at week 16.
So
is
you
that
have
right?
you have one win in week 10 of the NFL season. I want you to go first
Well,
right
they
now.
don't pay me to
because-
count.
No.
They don't pay me to count
60%
things.
win rate. Yeah.
They pay me to be a good analyst, and that's what I'm going to do right now.
We need you to give us the good juju.
Oh,
you
the
got.
percentage
Just-
without JG's picks? Oh, let's take a look at that.
No,
Ooh,
let's
that'd be
Um,
sick, dude.
We don't need to pile on.
That'd
man.
be sick. No, I want you to pile on. That makes the show better.
68%.
68%. Wow.
Oh, that's insane, dude. So basically, if
Good
you
call,
just
Starsky.
if you just take you guys as picks and then bet against me, you'd be a millionaire right now.
Yep.
So
You'd be
keep that in
buying a
mind.
Bitcoin.
Keep that in mind before I make my picks. Am I going first, or you guys want
Hey.
to get it out of the way?
Go for it, man. Come on.
I want you guys, because you know I'm going to pick an NFL game. You guys should just say it out loud. I shouldn't even have
swear
to tell
God.
you.
You're going to pick.
Because you know how my mind works. You already know the team
Here,
that
you
I'm going
bet
to pick.
New York
So-
Jets, the Jets, then lost.
So basically, your theory is if I keep sucking at one strategy, keep sucking until I don't suck anymore.
He said Jets. Who do you think I'm going to pick to win?
Green Bay's on bye, though.
I have to look at the schedule.
So you can't
I don't know.
can't deal with it. So you're going to
So here-
pick Pittsburgh over Washington.
Here's what I'm going to do, guys, because I'm always going to stick with, and I've done this for 3 years in a row now, but I think the sort of our narrative on this show so far this season is who's the number one AFC contender for the Chiefs. And I told you guys it was Houston all along. I'm not going to change my pick until they start to suck, and I don't believe they suck right now. They still have a really good record. So easy money bet. I'm going to go with Houston. Bounce back here.
Oh, my God.
Plus 3.5 versus Detroit. Detroit, man, I know Detroit's really good, bro. They're really good, but they're playing on the road. They're going to drop a game sooner rather than later. And I've always been a big believer in C.J. Stroud and Joe Mixon. So give me Houston plus 3.5 at home.
Okay. All right. I really hope you get this one. I really hope you do.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to it. For me, guys, actually, it's tomorrow. I only got one game this week, so a lot of times I have two. This week coming up, I only got one for you guys because I want to make sure I just get the one I truly believe in.
Don't worry, I get a weird week, too.
That's all right. For me, the spreads, the betting odds makers are getting better as the year goes on at making the spreads a little more fair and hard to predict. But I just really like the under in this game tomorrow night on Thursday Night Football. 53.5 is the over-under. So just put me in for the under, man.
Okay.
I feel good about the Ravens to get a win, by the way. So I guess if you wanted to do a little parlay, take the under plus the Ravens just money line.
Okay. That's fine.
That's all I got for you, man. I'm 9-3 on the season with my picks. So let's keep it rolling. That's the plan.
That is correct, too. Did I update my records? I don't think I did, but it don't matter. Guys, last week I had a pretty good week with only K-State being the most disappointing team. When aren't they? Let's be real. Losing to Houston. So, but this week we're sticking with one team from the previous past 2 weeks. We're bringing in an old friend for a college football bet. But I only got one college football bet for you this week. You'll have to check my Substack on the side bets on Friday morning and Saturday morning for your NCAA football picks at 1012489. But let's go at it. Friday night. Easy money bet right here, baby. Easy money bet right here. College basketball. North Carolina coming to KU in Allen Fieldhouse. Hello. Welcome men's basketball season back. Number 9, North Carolina coming at Kansas. Bill Self is 24-4 in top 10 showdowns inside of Allen Fieldhouse. And North Carolina struggled against Phoenixes. I don't even know who the hell they are.
Elon Musk?
Elon almost beat North Carolina himself.
Elon Musk almost beat them.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, they turned it on late. But so here's the thing with KU. Great recruiting class, much better. Looks much bigger size as well. They got a lot more depth in it. Look, KU is ranked number 1 for a reason. That defense is stifling. They only allowed 38% field goal percentage against Howard on Monday night. I love this matchup here, guys. We are going -7.5 for KU to win by. I think they blow UNC out. So that's your first men's basketball easy money bet of the week. Next up, we'll go to the NCAA on Saturday. We have UNLV -13.5 going against Hawaii. Hawaii stinks. UNLV is really good still. I don't care what anybody says. UNLV is still a great football team here. A lot of the lines, by the way, are kind of stink. Army's quarterback's hurt, so I don't trust that anymore. Navy lost last week for whatever freaking reason that was. They should bounce back, but regardless, I'll have more of that in my Substack. So we're going UNLV -13.5 against Hawaii on Saturday. That is your easy money bet for college football. And I got 2 NFL bets. 2 NFL bets, ladies and gentlemen. Who would have thought? We're sticking with Atlanta, -3.5 as they go out face New Orleans. New Orleans stinks. They fired Dennis Allen, finally. They might be better, actually, now. They fired Dennis Allen. So, but yeah, I got Atlanta there, -3.5. I think they can cover that. And Mike, I hate to break it to you, dude. We will not be 100% in our easy money bets this week.
No, I don't think we would anyway.
No, we are not being 100%.
Okay.
I got one more, by the way. I'm
going
going to do 2 this week.
I was going to do an extra
I
add-in.
got an extra easy money bet.
My second NFL bet is Detroit Lions, -3.5. Your pick of Houston is disgraceful.
Ooh, I'm going against
Houston
them, dude.
is the fakest 6-win team out there.
They suck. Houston sucks.
Detroit's going to rip them apart. It's going to be
Houston sucks.
It's going to be a blowout on Sunday Night Football. So
I think so as well.
Detroit -3.5, baby.
So earlier I said I
sorry,
hope your
Mike.
pi's right, but now that he said that,
Yeah.
I actually
It's a
lean
war,
towards
man.
Tanner's pick, to be honest. So
We like to go to war on this show.
Sorry, JG. Sorry, Mike. You ain't. By the way, good luck Starsky on your parlay. You always
yeah,
do
good luck
with
doing a
us.
parlay where you have to pick both sides.
Do it.
Yeah, see what the odds are.
All right, JG.
You got one more?
What's your second one?
Last one here, bro. I'm going back into the crypto sphere, if you will.
Yeah.
I'm going to make another buy of AIOZ Network. All-time high. The all-time high is $2.67. I'm going to make a live purchase on the show right now at 48 cents, 400 USD, which would put me and Mike, I think, combined are probably at like 2,500 or $3,000.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big bet on a coin that he and I agree on. So
I got
if
about-
you guys are
Yeah, me myself, I got about 2 in there.
if you guys are trying to make money on crypto, you got to get in quick because that's one of the best coins that I would recommend.
The AI narrative is going to be a good one for this.
Your
bull
easy
run.
money bets for the week is JG's got Houston +3.5. Mike's got Cincy Baltimore under 53.5 for Thursday Night Football. I have UNC KU covering that -7.5 in basketball. UNLV for football on Saturday -13.5 against Hawaii. I have Atlanta -3.5 to cover against New Orleans. And I'm going against Jason here on this one, but I got Detroit -3.5 against Houston. So that is your easy money bets. Let's finish all but one loss.
And let's write down AIOZ for what?
I'm
Minimum?
not writing
That's a
AIOZ.
minimum 15x.
Yeah. Oh.
15x.
Oh, it's going to be big.
So if you want
That's
to put in
gonna actually be big.
$1,000, we guarantee $15,000.
All right.
Easy.
Yeah,
Probably more
Time,
than
is it
that.
time to get out of here?
15 grand. Could
Is
we
it time to
can
go?
you be sued for guaranteeing that? I don't
Yeah,
know.
you can be.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is not.
Oh man.
As
So you
long
gotta
as
put
we
the
say.
in theory
You gotta
or
you
No,
gotta
no,
tell
no, no.
people it's probably
Allegedly-
not.
As long as we say this is not financial advice, then you can
There you
say
go.
whatever
Anything.
the hell you want. So,
Yeah, I mean, you could say you'll make 15 grand taking a shit.
not
Which you might,
financial
but
advice. Not
This
financial
program-
advice.
does not represent
We
the
don't
opinions
guarantee
and
you're gonna make any
ideas
money at all.
of anybody
Of
on
any
the show.
of
that is
anybody,
shared.
you're gonna make no money at all. In fact, 99.9% of people lose money in crypto every year. So, you know what? Just don't even do it. You're an idiot if you get involved in it.
Not financial
Don't
advice.
even get into crypto. But if you do, here's the one you should pick: AIOZ Network. Right?
Dude, I love this.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what we're doing. I'm in, man. I went all in.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't have anything else for you guys today. We started off a little late, so I think I'm all out of juice at this point.
Are you out of juice finally?
It's been a long week, man. Monday night was late. Last night was late. I'm getting tired of winning, and I need to chill out for a bit and see if the Suns want to get a win for me in the NBA, which I don't know if they are winning or not right now. So, anyways, what do you guys? Anything else before we get out of
Oh,
here?
that's beautiful. The purchase didn't go through. They did.
Well.
My credit card got declined. That's piss poor,
Okay.
man.
Well, we're gonna figure that out. when
Like
we get
I
off the
said,
show here.
that's why I say it's not financial advice,
Right.
because it doesn't always work out, bro.
That's
We
true.
might have had a good day on.
I think when we get off here, I'm gonna look at my own portfolio and see what I need to do.
This podcast is held responsible if that doesn't happen. I know, man.
But if it does happen, then we need to have a little bit of a tip afterwards from someone. We're gonna be poor. We're gonna be poor. We need a tip if this doesn't work.
How big of a tip do you want?
If you guys get 15x, we need a tip because we're gonna be poor because it didn't go through in the credit card for Jason. So now
Yeah,
he can't-
I got screwed,
Now
man.
you can't own any of it.
I think it's Tanner's Wi-Fi.
We got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
Just give us like $10 if it works for you guys.
Yeah, Tanner's Wi-Fi actually screwed me over.
No,
That's
my
messed up.
Wi-Fi did nothing
Yeah,
to
I
your
Claims he
card.
has the best
Your
Wi-Fi
card
of all
is
time, and
denied.
It sucks.
It's
Alright.
not my Wi-Fi.
Nope.
Just use PayPal, dude.
No, your credit card
Use
sucks,
PayPal.
dude.
Or
No.
do the swap I taught you about.
There's a lot of different ways, man.
Just do the damn swap.
It's the
Come on.
Wi-Fi.
Just
It's
do
the
the
Wi-Fi.
Just do the swap.
Can't
All right.
believe it, man.
Yeah,
gotta
as you
get
guys
outta
can
here.
see, it's Wi-Fi right
I
now.
gotta get out of here.
Unbelievable.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys have a great week, and hopefully have success in all your sports bets. And I'll see you on the next one.
Outro.
See you guys.